Hi everyone, I am jonnyman and welcome back to our adventures here in All the Mods 8, the mod pack that just seems to have a little bit of everything in it. And yeah, so there's been a little bit of progress since last time. We were working on a bunch of stuff related to the power, and yeah, there's a few things here, so I'll quickly kind of go over a few of the things that have expanded out. And then today we're going to take a look at some of the other dimensions. So there's some portals that we can make and access. It'll take us to different areas or dimensions, and we'll have to check them out. One of them I'm familiar with, which is the Twilight Forest. The other one is here. We have the Ever Bright and the Ever Dawn. So there's those. We have Twilight Forest, which we're going to go to. So those are technically part of Blue Skies. And there's also a mining dimension. Yeah, so mining dimension, and then something called the other. So this should be kind of interesting. So yeah, we're going to just dive right in. All right, so what do we got going? We have a few things on the go. So we have these fluid extractors, which actually don't need power, but I've given them power so they can work a little faster. And if they're facing a log, they'll eventually extract latex from that log. Well, then we can pipe that latex into a tank, which is just a reservoir for us, which then pumps into this one, which is called a latex processing unit. And that converts the latex with water. And actually underneath here, we have a kitchen sink, as it were. So it's kind of an infinite water supply. So we have a pipe pumping water up. So that's why we have water there. And these two things combined with power to make these little tiny dry rubber pellets, and I've been putting them over here. We can combine those to make two different things. I'm just running over to show you. We're over here. So we combine it, we make rubber, which we've needed for some recipes, and then if we smelt the rubber in a furnace, we get this plastic, as it were, or yeah, we get the plastic. And those have been needed for some of the machines moving forward here in industrial foregoing. So if you look at, if we want to eventually do some of these machines, like this plants machine, you'll see that it needs plastic. And there have been a couple of other things that have needed those too, so we kind of got those set up. So that's kind of cool. And then what else? We've just kind of expanded with a few other things. So we have some of our other essences. Oh yes, I'm growing warped block, and I'll explain that in a second. And then we have some more things going there. Expanded some of our machinery, so we have now a crusher. This is our chemical decomposition. If you remember, everything can be broken down into chemical elements, and then we can recombine those. And that was important for what was it there? Because I'm coming across recipes that need ender pearls, and I haven't been able to go to the end yet. And endermen only show up every so often, but you can chemically make them. So for this, I would just need some silicon, some mercury, and so neodymium. Neodymium? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that or whatever. So we need 16 of each of those to make an ender pearl. Well, where do we get silicon? Well, in our dissolver, we can put in nether brick. And you see 22% chance of getting silicon. There's just a bunch of things we can put in there to get various chemicals back out of those materials. So I've been kind of doing that, but the problem is this material here, this neodymium. As you can see, well, we're not at the end, so we don't have end stone, and even then it only gives us a 1.4% chance of getting it. Well, we're trying to make ender pearls, not break them down, so that's not going to be helpful. What I was doing, I'd gone to the nether, grabbed a whole bunch of warped nelium, but see, that only gives us a 3% chance of getting that material. So it's a little slow going. All right, I thought we would build around here, kind of an area for most of our portals that we can do. We know that Twilight Force is going to need a larger portal. Whoops. So let's just kind of accommodate for that. So yes, Twilight Forest needs a larger area, so we'll kind of do this. There we go. We'll kind of make it look pretty like it all. And I will show you the Twilight Forest portal in just a second. Whoops. Yeah, no, how far I want to go. We need to build a colony for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 area we need for a portal to Twilight Forest. But the mining dimension one we can actually just place down. That might be good for now. We have to fix this up and expand it. We can do that later, but for the time being, this will be our impromptu portal. All right, so let's get building the portal for Twilight Forest. Now, it's going to need some dirt, and let me just put some of this stuff back that I don't need. Oh, there we go. We have some dirt right there. Okay, so it needs a dirt frame. And we could just dig a hole and do it out there, but you know what? I want to have kind of a dedicated spot. Okay, so it needs a dirt frame. It's going to need a 2x2 water. So we can easily make that up. Just that water there. And pop that in the opposite corner. There we go. So there's our still water. Okay, so now we have to surround this with flowers. And it's just kind of the stock Minecraft yellow-red flowers. So let's just... I know I could do a bunch of... well, there's this over there. Just bone meal on the grass to make our flowers. But you know what? We've got a bunch over here. So we'll just kind of go for a little run and harvest those up. All right, we've got our flowers and we're ready to do the portal. So if we look at the Twilight Forest quest path, it does say, create a portal, make a 2x2 hole and fill it with water, surround the edges of the hole with flowers and throw a diamond in. I'm hoping it doesn't have to be grass, but we will find out. So we're just going to alternate our flowers. So we'll go red, red, red. Make it look all pretty like. There we go. And if we've done this correctly, there we go. And then now this, oh, look at the quest trees that's opened up. Yes, there's a bunch of bosses in Twilight Forest. This will make a portal in the Twilight Forest, which will then bring us back here. So here, let's take a look at the dimension. There's discrete biomes in the Twilight Forest. It's just generating in. That's why it may look like we're floating. There we go. And there we go. And if we take a look, we see there's discrete biomes, and they have, each biome will have a discrete enemy. Like there's a fortress over here. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken too, it's kind of gate kept. So you can't go and do one of the higher level ones until you, yeah, see this one with all these thorns. I can't pass through these thorns and into this dimension until I've taken care of some of the other bosses. The raven feather is needed for something in Twilight Forest, but as you see, it's going along to make a map to get through. So, what did Kiss give us? He was a Zephyr Spirit Head. Oh, I'm not sure. And what do we have here? Twilight Oak Log. Very cool. But we will definitely come back and check this out later. But we got our portal started, so let's head home. And it put the portal here as opposed to where we made the portal. Another little interesting thing, not quite synchronized, but that's all right. So with that one done, now we need to go take a look at this one, this teleport pad. So making this teleport pad in the overworld where we are, this will take us to the mining dimension, which I'm hoping is going to be advantageous for us, and I'll explain why in a moment. But the problem is, to make this, we need all the modium, and all the modium, if you follow it around, it's only found in deep dark biomes, and I managed to get a little bit without waking the warden, because that biome is where the warden is. I had to find the deep dark biome. Where is my nature's compass? Don't remember where I put my nature's compass. I might have actually used it. The nature's compass will let you choose a biome to find, and then it'll tell you how far away it is and where to go. So that's the only way I could find the deep dark biome, and then dug down, which opens up into the area for the warden, which obviously is not fun stuff, but luckily it opened up. I opened up somewhere near, just a little bit of exploratory digging and found a little bit of all the modium. So this we can turn into some nuggets, which we're going to need. And what is the rest? Oh, and it's just an ender pearl. Okay. So I'm hoping that this mining dimension is going to be, oops, I need to craft that, don't I? Is going to be helpful for our production of ender pearls. And if you remember the ender pearls, if we want to use our chemical combination, we need this neodymium. We can make lots of silicone and mercury, and I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but anyway, we need lots of that. But the biggest way to get that is some of the ender stuff, because I only have so much spot in the nether where I can get this warp nilium, but you know, even at a lower percentage chance, I can probably get tons of endstone, and then that hopefully will kind of offset a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Let's make our portal plate, or whatever you want to call it. There we go. Very cool. We're going to need to make another one of those to go to the nether, but we'll just put those back. Okay, and we're going to put this over in our portal area. And we'll pop that there. All right, so apparently to go, okay, simply set it, place in the overworld, then shift right clicking with an empty hand. Okay. Oh, I got a potion of iron sight, whatever that does for me. All right. Well, shift, I think they mean crouch, right click, and there we go. Yep. So the mining dimension is always, well, not always, but is most of the time, is a flat biome. Now, the one thing I do hope is that it goes down. So we'll have layers, we'll have some layers of dirt. Okay, then it'll go to cobble. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have layers of cobble, we'll get into deep slate, and then as we go deeper and deeper, it's going to be all the biomes, so it'll go deeper and deeper into nether, and then eventually, the hope is it'll go deeper into the end, and that's where we can just get some free endstone without having to go to the end. And how are we going to do that? Well, we have this digital miner. Now, I don't know if I forget if I've shown how to use this, but we'll kind of go over a quick little how-to here. And we're going to need some dirt. And that's good. All right. So the digital miner is a very cool tool because you can give it a list of things to mine, and it will dig down. In this case, whoops, if we take a look at, whoops. There we go. We've given it some parameters. We're saying, hey, at a radius of 20, I want you to go down to minus 64, and I want you to come all the way up to plus 60 in terms of our elevation. And see, we're way up here at Y250. So we're going to want to change that. But you can tell it what to mine, and that's going to be very advantageous. So here, first off, either of these two side ports, you can put power. And if you're using a cube like this, you have to make sure you configure your cube on the side to be output. Otherwise, this will not get power. Okay, so given the parameters it's going to use, we can see that it's going to use 2.2. So the bigger your search area and the more you try to grab, the more power it's going to use. The thing with the digital miner is, see, there's a little spot there for a chest and a spot here for chest, and I'll explain. Is as it mines out what you're looking for, that block is no longer going to exist. It's going to be an empty spot. So what you can do is you can load this up here, and it'll take things from here to replace that with, so you don't have a whole bunch of little pockets within where it's digging, because you could also create voids where mobs can spawn and all that kind of stuff. And on the back, anything it mines will come back out of that port into the chest. So what we can do is we can go config. I want to go to a new filter. We're going to go for a tag, and we're going to say endstone. Okay, so we might have to see what it's called officially. All right, I had to do a little bit of digging, but we finally think I found it. So it's called Forge and Stones. Unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of different end stones. So I could see if I could just narrow it down to just Forge end stone. No, see, doesn't like the single. Okay, well, there we go. So, oh, and at the same time, we want to make sure that, hey, we tell it replace anything you dig with dirt. We'll move that filter up. Now, you see, I also have a filter here for diamonds. So it will actually, we'll just turn that off. Otherwise, they'll try to pick those up. I want to see if this works. So we're going to start, sure, we'll go 60 to minus 60 for, even though we're up at Y253, I'm assuming it's going to have to go pretty deep to get to the end. So if we say start, so let's see, it's telling us there's 100,000 blocks to mine. We're taking some dirt, and if we are lucky, we're getting end stone. All right, we're back from the mining dimension. We'll go back there to get a bunch of stuff later. But if you remember, there we go. If you remember, this portal, or this portal plate, has a counterpart. If we put it in the nether, it takes us to a place called the Other, which I'm not too sure about. So let's go check it out. So where's our nether portal? Let's see what this Other is all about. So, not sure if I want to be somewhere safe or... You know what? Fine. Here we go. Okay, we're in the Other. We have a lot of ancient stone around us, and of course I didn't bring any torches. I didn't expect to be stuck here. All right, after a lot of digging, we had to come up, look at this, Y level 152. We have a boss, or kind of a pseudo boss that spawned in. We're kind of at the surface already. Oh, place. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, and a wither skeleton. Interesting. We got a tree. What do we got here? I'm just trying to check out things. Okay. So, well, there's lots of warp nilium here. So we may not need that end stone after all. Interesting. So it's kind of a nether-like biome or dimension. Definitely want to get a waystone down because the amount of digging and steps that I had to get up here is a little much. Visibility is very limited, but interesting. Who's firing at me? Oh, you're firing at me. All right, there you go. There's a bunch of the portals and dimensions that we have in all the mods 8. We've got Twilight Forest right there. We got the mining dimension there. The equivalent in the nether takes us to the Other. We found the Ever Dawn portal. We haven't found the Ever Bright yet. We have to find one of those. But yeah, gives us a lot of places to go take a look and have some adventures, especially the Twilight Forest. There's lots of fun stuff there. So thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing everybody again next time when we continue with all the mods 8. Bye, everyone.